William Moore, interviewed in Dallas, Texas, interviewed by Helos M. Foreman, age when interviewed, 83. My mammy told me that the reason why her and my pa's name are Moore was because afore they belonged to Marsh Tom Whaler. They belonged to Marsh Moore, but he sold them off. Marsh Tom heard they gonna emancipate the slaves in Selma, so he got his things and niggers together and come to Texas. My mammy said they come in covered wagons, but I wasn't old enough to remember nothing about it. The first election I got is down in Limestone County, Texas. Marsh Tom had a fine big house painted white and a big prairie field front his house and 2-3 farms and orchards. He had 500 head of sheep, and I spent most of my time being a shepherd boy. I starts out when I'm little and learns right fast to keep good count of the sheeps. Mammy's name was Jane and Pa's was Ray, and I had a brother Ed and 4 sisters, Rachel and Mandy and Harriet and Ellen. We had a pretty hard time to make out and was hungry lots of times. Marsh Tom didn't feel called on to feed his hands any too much. I remembers I had a craving for victuals all the time. My mammy used to say my belly craves something and it craves meat. I'd take lunches to the field hands and they'd say, Lord God, it ain't enough to stop the gripe in your belly. We made out on things from the fields and rabbits cooked in little fires. We had little bitty cabins out of logs with puncheon beds and a bench and a fireplace in it. We chillins made out to sleep on pallets on the floor. Some Sundays we went to church someplace. We always liked to go any place. A white preacher always told us to obey our masters and work hard and sing, and when we die we go to heaven. Marsh Tom didn't mind us singing in our cabins at night, but we better not let him catch us praying. Seems like niggers just got to pray half their life, and in praying, some nigger take turns about to watch and see if Marsh Tom always about. Then they circle themselves on the floor in the cabin and pray. They get to moaning low and gentle. Someday, 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 this yoke gonna be lifted off our shoulders. Marsh Tom been dead long time now. I believe he's in hell. Seemed like that where he belonged. He was a terrible, mean man and had an indifferent, mean wife. But he had the finest, sweetest chillins the Lord ever let live and breathe on this earth. They so kind and sorrowing over us slaves. Some them chillin used to read us little things out of the papers and books. We look at them papers and books like they something mighty curious, but we better not let Marsh Tom or his wife know it. Marsh Tom was a 50 man for meanness. He just about had to beat somebody every day to satisfy his craving. He had a big bull whip, and he stake a nigger on the ground and make another nigger hold his head down with his mouth in the dirt and whip the nigger till the blood run out and red up the ground. We little niggers stand round and see it done. Then he tell us, run to the kitchen and get some salt from Jane. That my mammy, she was cook. He sprinkled salt in the cuts, open places, and the skin jerk and quiver, and the man slobber and puke. Then his shirt stick to his back for a week or more. My mammy had a terrible bad back once. I seen her trying to get the clothes off her back, and a woman say, "What's the matter with you back?" It was raw and bloody, and she say, Marsh Tom done beat her with a handsaw with the teeth to her back. She died with the marks on her. The teeth holes gonna crosswise her back. When I's grown, I asked her about it, and she say Marsh Tom got mad at the cooking and grabs her by the hair and drug her out of the house and grabs the saw off the tool bench and whips her. My paw is the first picture I got in my mind. I was sitting on Ma's lap, and Paul come in and say Marsh Tom loaned him out to work on a dam they building in Houston, and he has to go. One day, word came he was hauling a load of rocks through the swamps, and a low-hanging grapevine catches him under the neck and jerked him off the seat, and the wagon rolled over him and killed him dead. They buried him down there somewheres. One day I'm down in the hog pen and hears a loud agony screaming up to the house. When I got up close, I see Marsh Tom got Mammy tied to a tree with her clothes pulled down, and he's laying it on her with the bullwhip, and the blood and running down her eyes and off her back. I goes crazy. I say, "Stop, Marsh Tom," and he swings the whip and don't reach me good, but I cuts just the same. I sees Miss Mary standing in the cookhouse door. I runs round crazy like and sees a big rock, and I takes it and throws it, and it catches Marsh Tom in the skull, and he goes down like a pulled ox. Miss Mary comes out and lifts her paw and helps him in the house, and then comes and helps me undo Mammy. Mammy and me takes to the woods for 2-3 months, I guess. My sisters meet us and grease Mammy's back and brings us victuals. Putty soon they say it am safe for us to come in the cabin to eat at night, and they watch for Marsh Tom. One day Marsh Tom's wife and in the yard, and she calls me and say she got something for me. She keeps her hand under her apron. She keeps begging me to come up to her. She say, "Give me your hand." I reaches out my hand, and she grabs it and slips a slipknot rope over it. I sees then that's what she had under her apron, and the other end was tied to a little bush. I tries to get loose and runs round, and I trips her, and she falls and breaks her arm. I gets the rope off my arm and runs. Mammy and me stays hid in the brush then. We see Sam and Billy, and they tell us they are fighting over us niggers. Then they done told us the niggers declared to Marsh Tom there ain't gonna be no more beatings, and we could come up and stay in our cabin, and they'd see Marsh Tom didn't do nothing. And that's what Mammy and me did. Sam and Billy was two the biggest niggas on the place, and they done got the shotguns out of the house some way or another. One day Marsh Tom am in a rocker on the porch, and Sam and Billy is standing by near. Sam say to Marsh Tom, "First white man sets himself inside that rail fence, get it from the gun." Marsh Tom waves the white men to go back, but they gallops right up to the fence and swings off they horses. Marsh Tom say, "Stay outside, gentlemen, please do. I don't change my mind." They say, "What's the matter here? We come to whip you niggers like you done hired us too." Marsh Tom say, "I done changed my mind, but if you stay outside, I'll bring you the money." They argue to come in, but Marsh Tom out-talked them, and they say they'll go if he brings them they $3 apiece. He takes them the money, and they goes away. Marsh Tom cuss and rage, but the niggas just stay in the woods and fool away they time. They say it ain't no use to work for nothing all them days. One day I'm in a Simeon tree in the middle of a little pond eating Simeons. And my sister Mandy come running. She say us niggas are free. I look over to the house and seen the niggas piling they little bunch of clothes and things outside their cabins. Then Mammy comes running with some other niggers, and Mammy was head runner. I climbed down out of the tree and run to meet her. She says Marsh Tom done told her he gonna keep me and pay her for it. She's a scared I'll stay if I wants to or not, and she begs me not to. We gets up to the house and all the niggas standing there with their little bundles on their head, and they all say, "Where we going?" Mammy said, "I don't know where you all going, but me myself am going to go to Miss Mary." So all the niggas gets in the cart with Mammy and we goes to Miss Mary. She meets us by the back door and say, "Come in, Jane, and all you chillins, and all the rest of you. You can see my door am open, and my smokehouse door am open to you, and I'll bed you down till we figure out a way for you." We all cries and sings and prays and was so excited we didn't eat no supper, though Mammy stirs up some victuals. It wasn't long before we found places to work. Miss Mary found us a place with a fine white man, and we works on Sherrits and just round to some other places and lives in Corissaca for a while and buys Mammy a little house, and she died there. I got married and had 3 childrens, cute fetching little childrens, and they went to school. Wasn't no trouble about school then, but was when emancipation come. My brother Ed was in school then, and the Ku Klux came and drove the Yankee lady and gentleman out and closed the school. My childrens growed up and my wife died, and I spent most my days working hard on farms. Now I old and thrown away, but I am thankful to God and praiseful for the pension, what lets me have a little something to eat and a place to stay.